Aquarius, welcome to your bonus in-depth reading. That is Celtic Cross. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous. With the Celtic Cross reading, as with any tarot reading, take what resonates, leave what does not. And do keep in mind these are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate at all. And I know that's frustrating, but also normal. So if that happens, check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. And of course, if a second energy pops up on the board today, then you reverse those energies as you see fit and as it applies. Okay. Let's get going. Show me Aquarius, please. Okay, first card, Queen of Pentacles. Crossing the Five of Pentacles. Okay. Crowning the Three of Wands. Page of Pentacles in the past. Exiting Temperance. Yeah, I can see that. Before you is the Page of Swords. Strength is the Six of Swords. Okay. Environment, the Sun. Good. I'm happy to hear that. Hopes and fears, Five of Wands. Outcome is the Hermit. Yeah, whatever it is I'm looking at your opening, I want you to give careful consideration to your self-worth. I see you waiting on something. Long story short, Three of Wands is at your crown. You are hyper aware of it. Okay, I don't think you're in denial about it. No, you're aware of it. You said you made a choice once upon a time to wait. And you are running out of patience. Okay. And the Page of Pentacles in the past, even though you waited, it looks like a fairly new investment. Page of Pentacles, not much was put into it, but you're saying that's like the point. I didn't put too much into this. Why am I waiting for results? Because Five of Pentacles is crossing you. It's like, is this where this investment's headed? Is this where this opportunity is headed, or this connection's headed? Is that it's breaking before it even gets started? Because I'm not into this, right? You're going back to that main point, Queen of Pentacles. What is my worth? It seems to me if this thing was going to grow or take off or have more signs of life or be more productive, I would know by now. It's like, I don't like this. I don't like making bad investments. No, you don't. And that's why I say it's, if you're going to wait, you have to choose, like actively choose. And I believe you did. And even though it doesn't seem like you put much into it, I mean, goodness. That's quite some time to wait to see the results of the Page of Pentacles. And the Temperance is on the exit. It's like your patience is running out. I agree. Patience is running out there. So you gave this thing a reasonable amount of time to see if it was going to take off or take root or grow or something. Before he's a Page of Swords. Somebody will show me that same card, same position. That's a little eye. Either you're keeping an eye on the situation, waiting to see more, or something or someone's keeping an eye on you. For now, I'm defaulting to you're keeping an eye on the situation because even though your patience is running out, you didn't show me an absolute action. Okay? So we'll see. Could be that you're leaning up to the final thought soon. Six of Swords is your strength. You are prepared to leave this behind if need be. To stop waiting on it, to stop expecting anything from it. Good. I'm glad that's a strength for you. You are telling me that your preference is for a smooth ride in things. In any sort of investment that you make, you prefer smooth, calm. You're not into drama. It's like things either work out or they don't. But what I don't like is this waiting thing. And waiting, what a lot of people don't understand about waiting, I think it's an exercise in patience. It's often an exercise in passive drama. So, I think you're that person you prefer to see the results of something sooner rather than later. Excuse me, I apologize. And this is something where you've already given it a fair amount of time. The sun's in your environment, so I'm happy to see that. I'm happy that you're happy. In your environment, you're saying that's pretty warm. The weather's good. And your home and your everyday life It's like you're pretty darn content. You're pretty darn happy. I don't know if there's someone in there with you, but the thing is that you yourself, you like that you're happy in your environment. It's comfortable to you. It's known to you. Or frankly, you've kind of built a quality life where you insist on living a quality life that makes sense to you, and you're just happy there, and that's good. So it makes me again wonder what the heck this is, because it doesn't seem to be in your environment. Okay. 5 of Wands and the hopes and fears. This tension, you don't like it. You really don't like tension. Again, that you're not a big fan of it. You like things to be smooth. So again, if you have to walk away, you say more often than not, you're comfortable with it. If something's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I'll pass it by, it'll pass me by, no problem. That's a huge strength. It really is. I wish people would just learn to let things go. It's like, okay, this isn't for me, or this isn't going to work out. I see that sooner rather than later, so I'm not going to give any more to this. I love your strength. I really do. So I can absolutely see why the 5 of Wands would be in your hopes and fears. Is there something here worth fighting for, or am I fighting for a lost cause? Is all this tension for nothing? So again, it's going back to waiting and running out of patience. The Hermit's in the outcome. Okay. Very steady. Again, calm. A preferred path, and you getting on it, making sure you're staying on it. Looking back at everything you've learned and seeing where you are, and do you want to continue on in that way, or do you want to make modifications? Okay, but the point is that we're learning. We have experience here. We can see it for ourselves and continue to heal ourselves to our known path. Or, like I said, change course a little bit. Okay? All right, let's get cracking. Queen of Pentacles there. You're showing me such a practical frame of mind for whatever this is. I want to know too. Actually, I want to know. Actually, for myself, I want to know what this is. Seems to me, if you're this Aquarius, you already know what I was talking about. But you have such a practical frame of mind. I would be surprised if you were showing me a love element here. This is more like I invested so much money into a business and I'm not getting any feedback here about my investment or how it's going. And that's a problem, right? That's how practical it looks to me. But be it in matters in life or in love, you know, we are talking about worth. The Chariot and the 3 of Pentacles, there it is. Partnership, alliance, maybe friendship, but I'm seeing it as a cooperation, a cooperative agreement, such as business, entrepreneurship, alliance, collaborative effort, something. And at the time, you're like, this feels pretty good. I feel confident, actually. 6 of Wands, the Chariot, 3 of Pentacles. You really felt confident moving forward in this direction with somebody in terms of partnership. Perhaps, like I said, business, a project, something. It's like, you know what, this is worth it to me. And I literally feel good about this. And for some of you, you struck this agreement back in Cancer season, which was not too long ago. It doesn't have to be, but that's how it's coming up. Yeah, and we're fast forward. We're out of Leo season. Yeah, we're in Virgo season now. So it's kind of like I should have seen results of this thing by now. Yeah. Yeah. 5 of Pentacles is crossing. Is this a lost cause? Was this a bad investment? How is this shaking out? King of Wands, the World, the 4 of Pentacles. You want to know, should you let this go? You're willing to call it quits right now. You are willing to draw a line underneath this right now and call it quits. Basically, your biggest force here is I want a conclusion. I'm tired of this waiting crap. This is either developing and is going somewhere, or it's not. So you signed on to some sort of collaborative project, cooperative, or agreement, and you're not seeing results from the other side. You really aren't. And it didn't seem like a big deal at the time. And you're right. Perhaps it really isn't in terms of time, energy, effort, or resources. But the idea is that even though it may not have been a big deal, it's already kind of letting me down. So I want to get out now, or I'm thinking about getting out now. Tell me if I should get out now before I put any more of myself or my expectations into this, because I'm not into waiting. Okay? There's something here about this was supposed to have a more reasonable time frame or a quick turnaround or results that were easily understood. So let's take it out of the realm of, like, say, investment, money, business. Let's say, just to change it up. Let's say you're in college and you have one of those big fancy assignments where you have to team up with somebody. I hate those. But let's say you decided to team up with somebody. They're like, yeah, I've got this idea. You've got that idea. We're going to put our two ideas together. I'm going to put my effort over here. You're going to put your effort over here. And it's going to be great. It's going to be the best collaborative essay ever, or whatever it is. And then here we are, weeks going by. You haven't seen diddly squat from them. Not even so much as a note as to what they've done. You done any research? You looked into this at all? Have you even started typing anything? You got your first sentence down? Like, what's going... You see what I'm saying? It looks so promising, but manageable at the beginning. And now you're like, just let me know if I got to finish this up myself. Honestly, should I even expect anything from you at this point? See what I'm saying? So as it resonates, I'm just trying to give you an example to generate ideas of what I'm saying here, because it's actually incredibly straightforward. But yeah, you're like, just tell me now. Do I need to bail? Just tell me. Tell me if I need to bail, if I need to stop believing in you, if I need to stop contracting with you, if I need to drop you like a bad habit. Like, tell me right now. If you can't live up to the agreement, tell me now. You have given this situation ample opportunity to be upfront with you. Tell me now if you can't fulfill your end of the bargain. If you're a shit contract, let me know. Okay? Because I don't want to put any more resources into you, particularly where the waiting is concerned. And let me make this clear to you. Time is the biggest resource given to us all. Okay? Not everybody's got time to spare, nor should they. I really wish people would learn to see time like money. Once you spend it, you can't get it back. So make sure it's worth your time. You know? Be it in love or life. That's what I'm saying. I wish people understood when they say they wait and they wait and they wait, they are giving their time away. Like they're giving their money away. I hate that. So when I tell people, you need to know what's worth waiting for, that's exactly what I'm saying. You can't get that time back. Okay? 3 of Wands, and it causes so much damage to us emotionally and psychologically for something to just, hey, if you were just upfront with me, you weren't going to make good on this. Could have saved me some time there. Yeah. So it's one thing when you anticipate stuff. I see anticipatory energy all the time. That's perfectly normal. I'm anticipating these good things. I have real reason to. Or I'm choosing to wait. I need to get some space between this version of me and my future self. That's reasonable too. But this is something where, like, there should be some evidence of this cooperative agreement by now. You should have fulfilled your end of the bargain by now. You should have fulfilled your contractual promise by now. You know? 3 of Wands is crowning. Yes. Oh, shit. Now we're talking about 6 of Swords, Queen of Swords. Get out now while you still can. There's legal touches on this, isn't there? Aren't there? Okay. Even if it was a loose agreement, you will agree to be done with this or fulfill your end of the role in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and it still hasn't happened. So even if there wasn't an actual, like, contract, justice, it could very well be a technical legal thing. Okay. Even if it was a spiritual contract, I understand, because we're friends, we're buddies, we're something, that you agreed to do this and I agreed to do that. 6 of Swords, which, again, your strength. You don't play, do you? You really don't play. You're just that person. You don't fucking play. I respect that a great deal. I didn't learn this type of shit until much, much later in life. I was like, well, circumstances, well, these are the key issues, well, in consideration of, well, take into account. Oh my God, all that. I didn't learn that till much, much later. I didn't, it's When we're talking about agreements and that agreement's clearly getting broached, you learned this much sooner than I did. It's like, nope, call that a loss, call it quits. I'm out. You're not honoring the contract, neither am I. I'm out. I'm going sick. So, yeah, no, you're counting down the days, my Aquarius friend. You got it down to fingers. 5 days, 4 days, 3. That is how literal that is. Okay. You're upholding your end. It's like, if this isn't done by this time, I'm out. Okay. And that one's on a deadline. That one's on a debt. But you know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You don't want to incur any more debt in terms of waiting or time or resources or investment you can't get back, which is very wise of you, which is why I'm telling you, many people wish they had figured that shit out a long time ago. But I'm just so fucking empathetic. I always have emotional inclusions for people. I know I shouldn't humor you or give you any more credit or work with you anymore or talk to you anymore. I know. But there's always a backstory. There's always a history. And but you, thankfully, I say good on you. You are prepared to enforce your 6 of Swords and call this a loss, or stop seeking to this for it to fulfill its end of the bargain, because you seem to understand if they're not going to do it, you can't make them. And you're right. You can't. All you can do is control your behaviors. All you can do is control your side of the fence and uphold your side of the contract, or know when to exit it. Because from your point of view, this is looking null and void. Or it's beginning to. Like I said, you got this on a countdown, don't you? You're like, yes, I do. Actually, Christina, from this day forward, they have approximately 9 days, 8 hours, and 23 minutes. No, I'm just, that's how tight that is. Oh, wow. It's very admirable, Aquarius. I'm just saying it's admirable. Your energy is so knowing of thyself. And I can see where a lot of people might think you're cold or calculating or very perfunctory or cut off. But the fact of the matter is, you threw down goodwill, intent, and positivity and good faith towards this. You expected very different things than what you're currently being met with. Ergo, you have come to the right conclusions. And you're not trying to bargain with it. You're just not. And I say good for you, okay? Good for you. Page of Pentacles is in the past. Let's see what this little itty-bitty investment that kind of looks like a partnership thing, an alliance thing. What's going on here? I just want you to know, I'm the Aquarius I'm looking at. I admire you a great deal. It's a huge advantage. It really is. I'm not saying you like this all the time. I'm not saying you treat your partners like this. I'm saying when it comes to this situation, you know what's up. So far, there's been no contradiction in you. None. Okay? Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. See, this, again, very wise of you. Very smart. You said you've been very honest with me. It's like this was not an emotional investment. That was never the issue. It was my agreement, your master symbol there with the Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. This was about work and strictly about work. It was supposed to be prosperous, or that's what I was led to believe, that this would be a prosperous endeavor. This was asking for my cooperation, my partnership, to be colleagues, co-workers, or to contribute my resources in some way for this thing to take off. An investment, but it's like emotionally, no. And that's why you're showing me such a clean detachment from this. You did not get emotionally invested in it. Very wise of you. That is technically one of your superpowers. That doesn't mean that every Aquarius has it, but yeah, that's what you're showing me today. No, this was not an emotional thing. No. You don't get emotionally invested in business, Christina. And for some of you, I'm not saying that's the truth, but that's your truth. Okay? Myself, as, again, a water sign, I'm never so happy as when I'm doing what I love, so I have to be emotionally invested. But I thrive there. That's my principle. I thrive on it. This is how you thrive on your particular principles. But no, I get it. It makes sense to you. And like I said, I didn't see deviation in your character, not once. So, I get it. You're showing me the past. You're being very clear about it. You thought it was a good business opportunity. It might have involved a friend, an acquaintance, someone you know. Temperance is on the exit. I will say this, you really did have a lot of good faith towards this. Some confidence in there, a little bit of cheek. That's all right. You're saying it's worth it to me. I'll chip this in. 6 of Wands, Chariot, 3 of Pentacles. See, you really had good feeling, well, good feeling, but a positive disposition towards this. Again, you weren't emotionally invested, but a positive disposition. Okay, Temperance. 2 of Cups. The Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune. Jesus. You said you gave this as much consideration personally as you could. Like if there was any extenuating circumstances, you've already taken that into consideration. It's already been dismissed. You're saying for this, there is no excuse. Whatever your feelings for this person are, you set them aside. The Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune, it doesn't really matter what the history is. It doesn't really matter what the history is. You've run out of patience. And if they really cared about you, they would know that. Fair point. I think that's a fair point. So even if you two are friends, and the 2 of Cups isn't necessarily intimate love, it's just, this is how I feel about you, this is how you feel about me. So that's any sort of emotional connectivity you could have with anybody that's more or less the same. And that's what you two might share is that I care about them, they're a friend. And they feel the same about me. But if they really cared about me, they would have known I'm taking this seriously and I've run out of patience. They should have communicated by now or given me more to work with by now. But I'm out of time for this. I've given it as much thought as I could. They should have done the same for me. It's kind of like they know who they're working with. They know what kind of Aquarius I am. I think that's fair. All right. So I don't know how I'm supposed to get like a 40-minute reading. I'll figure out a way, honey. That's what I do. I'll tell you, I go on and on, as I'm well known for. That's the reason I prefer in-depths. I really like to stretch out what I'm saying here. It's just who I am. I like to take my time, and I like to pick up on the nuances. There's layers to people. Situations are complex, but yours is incredibly straightforward. So let me tell you, if I'm over here and we're still at 30 minutes, you're going to get a ton of oracles. I'll tell you that. Real talk. As somebody who does this realistically, real talk. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just may not need it. You know yourself so well. And it's like, okay, Page of Wands. The 3 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. You are so disappointed. You are disappointed, but you're trying not to let it show. And and this is what pisses me off, is that they're looking at you and they know you're disappointed. So your energy is looking at them, and I'm disappointed in you. And they're looking at you, it's like, I'm disappointed I couldn't deliver, or I kept my mouth shut, because the Page of Swords tends to be very quiet, because they just feel small and incompetent. Small. So that's why they're associated with spying and observation and looking, is because that's all they can really do. So is either you looking at them and you're feeling disappointed, or they're looking at you and they know they disappointed you. It looks like it's running both ways. So the 4 of Cups and the 3 of Cups, that's classic disappointment. I'm sorry I let you down. But also not looking into it too closely. So it's not like it was a big apology. It's like they're too small or too scared to say they were wrong, or they're sorry that they know they let you down, which that's the best way to overturn that Page of Swords, is to do the opposite and speak the fuck up. This is what I need to think, and I need to own that, and these are my feelings, and I need to own that. The thing is some people can be so overwhelmed with the situation, they go small and they shrink. And the Page of Swords, I'm too small to handle this. On the contrary, it's the other way around. Just own it. But who knows? I believe you're saying something. Page of Wands has a little bit more activity attached to it. A little bit more. And it's like, well, I'm disappointed in this. It might put you in a position, of course, where you rethink the friendship or possibly the connection or whatever your two's mutual connectivity is. Okay? And I wouldn't blame you for that. Okay. Okay. And I'm sorry that you had to force their hand. You had to force the conclusion in the absence of their participation or the energy or the promise. And I am sorry. I'm sorry they let you down. And then the sadness is not saying it. Yeah, of course I quit. I didn't hear from you. What'd you expect? Well, I had this, that, and the other going on. You left me hanging. It's not an excuse. You just can't. You just can't. You speak up. Don't you hate that when you're in a position of making calls on someone's behalf because they just can't handle it? They can't address it. Jesus. Yeah, but there's something here about you didn't want any more debt with this. In any way, technically legal, resourceful, or otherwise. Yes, indeed. Six of Swords is a strength. Very consistent in that. There's that Four of Cups again. I see that. You're disappointed. The Six of Cups and it's the connection Page of Pentacles because you did put that investment in someone whom you've known a long time. So perhaps you invested in, like, say, a sibling's project or work or business or a old bestie's project, work or business, and you took it seriously and they actually made you feel good about it. That's what sucks. So it's one thing and they didn't come through. Okay, they didn't come through. They failed. They failed. The thing is that they didn't own it. That pisses me off too. That frustrates me. If you're going to fail in this project, which, by the way, you prompted, you could at least have said so. I mean, at least I could have parted ways from this project with a little bit more sense of respect and dignity for you or our connection. Yeah, but there you are. That's a Six of Swords. I am so sorry. Yeah, this is going to change your two's dynamic quite a bit. You might find yourself reasonably, I would say, getting distance from them. Because even though it wasn't a lot, there's that Page of Pentacles again. And you told yourself, don't get invested in it emotionally. It still hurts because no matter what you told yourself there, Aquarius, honey, you may not have been emotionally invested. You were already in a connection with somebody. Otherwise, I don't think maybe you would have gone this direction in terms of investment. But you knew them. You had faith in them. And they disappointed you. Boom, boom. And that's why you're leaving it behind. You see how consistent you've been? So yeah, I mean, if this changes your two's dynamic, your friendship, don't be surprised by that. This is what happens when we kind of lose respect for people. Okay? And I am seeing that. It's not just because this thing failed, it's because they failed to speak up about the failure. I say, hey, I'm sorry I let you down. This was my idea, and I fumbled it. I dropped the ball. I screwed up. Here's your investment back. At least you could have been like, you know what, you did your best. And you don't lose faith in the connection. But this one, you might get a little distance from, and I don't blame you for that. They disappointed you. They really disappointed you. Again, it's not the failure. It's how we deal with it. Okay. Yeah, I am sorry. You're not going to want to connect to them, it looks like, for a little while. I'm not telling you what to do. You're telling me what's up with you. Okay? You get to choose. And that's if you relate. This one is very specific. That's that Hanged Man. And the upright is not something that you want to get any more perspective on. Okay? Well, I don't blame you. The Chariot and your environment. I'm sorry, the Sun. I was thinking the Chariot. The Sun is in your environment happy, though. You, as a general rule, consider yourself to be a pretty happy person, or that you understand happiness as a choice, and you don't tie yourself too deeply or too long to stuff that ultimately proves to be unhappy. I've seen that for you. You don't seem to harbor that. Again, it's not that they disappointed you as their inability to own it, that you had to call or force their hand. That hurts. Okay, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, strength. Oh no, you do a good job of maintaining what you already have and keeping it on track. And you're saying it's not easy, you know. Five of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, your world, you know, your environment, your path. You're saying it's not the easiest. It takes a lot of work to stay on top of it. So that's another twist there. You're saying everything you had to work hard for. And some of you work multiple roles, like you bust ass. Okay. So knowing then how important this was, that's frustrating. Because it's like you don't just go giving out your resources. You don't just go out giving out your time or your money. They should have known better. And if it failed, they should have said so. I understand. You work for everything you have, and you say it may not be a lot, but it's mine. And I've earned it the hard way. And I will recover from this bullshit too. So I don't know how much you put into this, but you're saying I have to recover from it, but that's on me. I have the strength to do that. Unlike my friend here, I have the strength to do that. I will recover from this because I believe happiness. I believe in happiness, and I can build for myself, and I can prosper for myself, and I will recover from this. Okay? I am sorry. I know you said you weren't emotionally invested, but honey, the connection was already there. It was already on the line. But it's like knowing what your pentacles mean to you, what your 3D reality means to you, how hard you worked for everything that you have. Why did they take that investment so lightly? That kind of shit pisses me off. And no wonder you lost your patience. They should have known with that investment. Like, say it was in the context of, I don't know, borrowing money. Careful with that, right? Let's say it was $5,000. Well, somebody somewhere might be thinking it's just $5,000. To you, it's like it was $5,000. Okay? You get to determine your level of value and worth and what it is you're willing to part ways with. While it may not have seemed like much to some, it meant a lot to you. And also cost you, P.S., how you perceive this person. Okay? So there you go. But I love your environment and that it's like, oh, despite that bullshit, I'm a happy person. And that's a choice. And I work hard for my happiness. I don't take it for granted. Good. I love to see that for you. I would love to see that for anybody. I mean, I see people say, I want to be happy. I want to be happy. Very few people actually live it. It's because they're so busy desiring it. You forget happiness is a choice. And no one likes to hear that. They treat it like an unpopular opinion. It's a fact, boo-boo. Happiness is a choice. You get to choose to see what you have and not just focus on what you don't have. And you say you're very much in tune with what you have, and you worked for every square inch of it. And that makes you proud. It makes you happy. Makes you feel strong, too. Somebody has some very interesting Leo in your chart. Very interesting. We're talking maybe rising, north node, but regardless. Okay. Yeah. You get to determine the value of that. But no wonder you were so willing to draw a line under it. You didn't want to lose any more resources or lose any more time. Okay. Okay. Well, what started out is what looks like very straightforward thinking, perhaps to the point of coldness. It actually makes sense to me. There were some personal notes there of disappointment on top of this. And you didn't want to lose any more or hemorrhage any more or something like that. Okay. No, you had your reasons, and bravo for you sticking to your guns and your beliefs, okay? 5 of Wands in the hopes and fears. So you don't do tension. You don't do the drama. 10 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Cups. Okay. You want to stabilize. You're afraid you may not stabilize. You will. I know you will. You already told me it's one of the things that makes you happy is that your environment is known to you and that you do well there. So you're showing me stability between yourself and someone else. Is it them? Is it someone else? I don't know. I have a King of Cups here and a Queen of Wands. So there's some hope here. I would like to resolve tensions between myself and someone else specifically, but I'm not necessarily convinced it's the same person, this one that let you down. I know that you appreciate stability there with the 10 of Pentacles, but 5 of Wands is unstable. Anger, frustration, drama. Back and forth, battle, will, tug of wars. Okay. This one seems to have some upper division energy attached to it. In other words, not exactly this, which is disappointing, low functioning, or at least it proved itself to be low functioning connection. King of Cups, Queen of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. That speaks to something a little bit more idealistic, okay, in terms of energy, compatibility, a mutual sense of respect. You have a hope to stabilize with that person. You're afraid you may not. This one's a little different. It's a little different. That might mean something to you. Hopes and fears are a guarantee of nothing. It's just a reflection of who we are on the inside. So you hope to cool things off between you and somebody, but I don't quite know who they are. And I don't think it's this. This one I even told you distinctly several times, you're going to probably take a break from them. Distance themselves. You might distance yourself. I think it's you. It's really going to alter that connection quite a bit. You might not talk to them again either. I don't know. It's up to you. Sometimes the Six of Swords is a short-term distance, and sometimes it's permanent. Okay. This one's a little different. This is someone apparently we still have some edge with, and you don't like edge. You've made that clear. You don't like edge. You don't like edge. You don't like anger. You don't like the tug of war, and you don't like drama. I don't think it's drama with this person. You said it's issues of stability. I would like to stabilize with them, though. You already told me you're someone who can clearly put in the work. I get that. I wonder where that is. Anyway, the Hermit. The Emperor, the Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. Oh. Beautiful. Really commanding there. Gorgeous. I love that. You keep walking your path, you're going to head in a particular direction. You're in for more new than you realize. But it's on your path of enlightenment. I don't think you know it yet. But it's going to make you feel fucking phenomenal. 10 feet tall. It's new love, new passion. To be clear, it's not this one. This is something that's failed, and it failed you, and it didn't even have the nerve to own it. Did we smooth things out with this person? And it's like a reset? Or is this brand new altogether? The outcome is so strong. The Emperor, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. They're on that path. You are rebuilding. You are rebuilding. And you're quite happy, too. You look singular to me. It feels good. Okay. No, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's that. Whatever that is, I think eventually you'll get. It needs a cooling off period or something like that. This is done for now. That needs to have some sort of cooling off period before you can stabilize with that person. The Hermit, I wish I knew. I really don't. Excuse me. The Hermit, the Emperor, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. When the time is right, you will have new. It's going to feel wonderful. It's going to be amazing. Like I said, I don't know that you know that you're on that path. I think some of you have just entered that path now in Virgo season. But it's not completely known to you just yet. It's actually quite exciting. It makes you feel very strong, very alive. Okay. Whoever this, they had an assignment. It was their only assignment to cooperate with you, to make good on what they promised, and boom, drop it. Okay, man. Flowers in reverse. Number 11. Be generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. So in the reverse, your time of being generous with this and also cultivating anything more from it, I think, is done. Don't be any more generous with your time or your resources with this as you already have. It has no business taking from you any more than it already has. You have, it's your business. You get to choose. But I say you've already given as much to this as you probably should have done. Okay? So it's no more generosity there. I'm kind of tempted to pull you another one. Okay. Yeah, love. I see that 17. It's a little further out, though. Love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. I mean, I don't say want for more, star, but love for more and abundance. But that's the main show is 17, love, star, 29, and abundance, 1. You want for so much more, and you should. This I'm kind of curious about mildly as an oddity. You hope things will smooth out between you and someone else in time, maybe. Cooling off. Cooler heads will prevail, that kind of thing. But you're afraid they won't. I can't help but feel that this person or connection is related to this shit. I don't know how to explain that. Number 32. When peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. Yeah, I got you. It's like, I will live in peace. I will live in peace, and I will make the decisions others are not prepared to make. If it disturbs my peace or has the potential to, I will make the decisions that are correct for me. Excellent. Very good. 33. Take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure. Oh, yes. 42. And oneness is the way. Be at one. You are very much at one with yourself. And you said it. It's almost like you have a dedicated effort there. It's like if I have any conflict within me, I won't tolerate it. I will address it sooner rather than later. I will not let shit linger. And I will not second guess myself. Excellent. Good vow there. 4, 1, and 11. Okay. It could also be roughly translated into April, November, January, but 4, 11, 1. L, G, and W. We also have, excuse me, the medallion of Aries. Yeah, I feel like you might have some Aries in your chart, or next Aries season might be important to you. But the key word here is courageous, yes? And then we have the key. Of course, you might, like I said, also have or be connected to Aries, or this season might be important to you, yes. But yeah, in the key, you have the key, yes. You do. You have the key to the situation. It's like I always have my key. I'll never forget my key again. A lot of people forget that they have a key in their pocket for any given situation, because then it's like it's out of my hands, it's out of my control if I don't have a key, right? But no, you have the key. It's like I'll never lose my key again. Okay. Aquarius, honey, this one was very interesting. I strongly feel that part of this trauma, anger, frustration you have over here, and the hopes and fears, maybe one day that'll smooth out, has something to do with this situation over here that clearly let you down. And it somehow ties back to this situation. Okay. Well, I don't know. This kind of feels like a situation somebody signed up for, but maybe they're shooting the mouth off, or they agreed to do something for you and like, I got it, I totally got it, I can totally handle it, and it was just disappointment, and it was supposed to help maybe with that. I don't know. But anyway, your outcome is completely detached from all this bullshit, but it's definitely on the pathway you understand you deserve once you realize you deserve it. So, the Emperor, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, that's wonderful. Congratulations. I can't wait for you to discover that for yourself. It's going to be great. I like how you're building into your environment and getting it back into good condition, but you're so happy to do it. You're so happy to just be on your own and to build at your own pace. Okay. Okay, Aquarius, honey, like I said, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.